fan incident from the NBA. This one following the Nets win in Boston last night. As the Nets were walking off the court, a fan tossed a water bottle at Kyrie Irving, nearly hitting him in the head. The fan was arrested as a result. Kyrie was asked about the incident after the game. Take a listen.
Fortunate, that sports has come to a lot of this, kind of crossroads where you're seeing a lot of old ways come up. It's been part of that. It's been that way in history in terms of entertainment and performers in sports for a long period of time of just underlying racism and just treating people like they're in a human zoo. Throwing stuff at people, saying things. There's a certain point where it just gets to be too much. So, I called it out. I just wanted to keep it strictly basketball, and then you just see that people just feel very entitled out here. They pay for the tickets, great. I'm grateful that they're coming in to watch a great performance, but it's just, we're not at the theater. We're not throwing tomatoes and other random stuff at the people that are performing. It's too much.
Fans got to grow up at some point. I know that being in the house for a year and a half with the pandemic, got a lot of people on edge, got a lot of people stressed out. But when you come to these games, you got to realize, man, these men are human. We not animals. We not in a circus. You coming to the game is not all about you as a fan. So have some respect for the game, have some respect for these human beings, and have some respect for yourself. Your mother wouldn't be proud of you throwing water bottles at basketball players or spitting on players or tossing popcorn. So grow the up and enjoy the game. It's bigger than you.
Hey, Brandon, what was your reaction to this latest fan incident?
Listen, not a lot here for me. We know what we have to do. We have to prosecute. We have to change the way we look at our security and we police arenas and stadiums, all over the country, all over the world. Going to a game could be very dangerous, and we know that not only for the players, but the fans in the stands. You either watch the game, you've been to a game, and you understand and you feel it. You have to be careful how you navigate yourself through these arenas. People are intoxicated. People are they're fans, short for fanatic. So it can be a tough environment. So we know what we have to do there. This is nothing new. I go back to my days in Miami, and we had this one parking lot outside of our stadium where we all parked, and there was so many fans there. And I jumped in my car one day, and it was a good thing I was with my agent at the time, and I'm trying to navigate through this crowd of fans, and the guy came up to me, and he just started banging on my window, and I almost lost it, and I almost jumped out my car, and my agent grabbed my hand. But I'm like, man, why do you feel that you can touch my car? Why do you feel like you can bang on my car to a point that the glass is going to break? So we understand what we have to do here. I also would say that it's not just a fan problem. It's a we problem. It's a us problem. It starts at the top. It starts with our leagues. Our leagues. Naomi Osaka, the French Open, she goes into that match, into that tournament saying, look, I am not going to talk because of mental health, and trying to take care of that. I don't think that it's fair that all players should have to speak after every single match. Why do we make all of our players speak? There's certain things that we do to play into this. We entertain it. In media, we do the same thing. Look at Dak Prescott. Look how we handled that situation when Dak Prescott said, look, my mental health wasn't where it needed to be because of what happened with my brother. And look how we handled that. Look at Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, he takes some time to get his mind right. And look how we handled Kyrie Irving. Look at the narrative that was in the media. And then, like I said, Naomi Osaka was a prime example of how we do that. So it's not just a fan thing. It comes from the top. The leagues need to do a better job. And us in the media, we need to do a better job because we do put our players and our superstars on the pedestal. We do say that you guys are invisible. We do say that you guys are superheroes. So we got to look at it, from a 360 approach to make sure that we're all breaking down this stigma of our players being in the cage and being in the zoo.
Yeah, so listen, you're big picture wise, I agree with what you're saying and about how we kind of dehumanize athletes in some of the ways we discuss them. But what we have seen specifically in a week's time in the NBA is a fan pour popcorn on Russ, a fan spit on Trae Young or spit at Trae Young, a fan in Utah say to Ja Morant's father, "I'll put a quarter in your back and make you dance for me, boy," and now a fan throwing a water bottle at Kyrie. And the Celtic fans seemed extra amped up at Kyrie because he had the audacity to say, "Please try not to be racist." And Kyrie, in his commentary after the game, brought up a racial dynamic here that I think cannot be ignored. This is those four incidents, and the vast majority that I've seen in my lifetime are white fans targeting black players, basically, as Kyrie put it, and as I put it last week, acting like it's animals at the zoo, and you're tapping on the glass, where you are removing the humanity from the people involved. And it is all fruit of the same poisonous tree of shut up and dribble. It is all fruit of you are performing for my entertainment, and that is where your efficiency as a human starts and ends. How well you entertain or don't entertain me. I don't want to hear your opinions on police brutality. I don't want to hear your opinions on politics. And I do not care a single shred about treating you with dignity outside of watching you play a sport. And it is, in the NBA, an overwhelmingly black league. And the last time I can remember an incident where a black fan was thrown out of the game, it was Charles Oakley at his own arena. These incidents are typically white fans targeting black players. The players feel it. The players know it. And yes, you can prosecute the individual cases. Yes, you can arrest and you can ban the individual bad actors. But there is, Brandon, there is an underlying boiling tension here that I warn the fans across the league. What they're going to eventually have to do, is move the stands back. Like make you further from the players as a whole, which we're all worse off for. But if stuff like this, you can't have guys spitting on players, throwing water bottles at players, and you're playing, as Wild put it last week, Brandon, playing whack-a-mole with bad actors. Tell me then, what's the fix?
We can't change their mindset and how they view people and how they view the world. But we can change how we police, how we secure our stadiums and arenas. Like those crowds, the stands, it's crazy up there. Put more security there, not just standing at the bottom or the top. They should be in every damn row. That's what you do. Why does my wife or why does my grandmother, why can't they wear my jersey at a game because of what a fan may say? Secure the stadiums. It's not just for the players and the players, but it's for other players. Like, other fans. Let's say the Denver Broncos playing against the Raiders, right? And they're in, let's go old school, because I want to go to the black hole, because I haven't been to Las Vegas yet. So Denver Bronco fan goes to the black hole. They go to Oakland. Why does a Denver Bronco fan got to take off their shirt? Because it's going to be too rowdy of a crowd. So we just need to approach how we secure our stadiums just a little bit differently. But here's the deal, okay? We got to look at the owners. We got to look at the general managers. And I'm being honest here. When the owners and general managers start treating the players like they're people, then things will change. So you're talking about, this whole racial thing of, like players are animals behind the glass in the zoo tapping on it. Then the owners need to step up and say things differently. They need to do things differently. When all the racial tension was soaring, where was most of the owners? Why were you forced to stand up and tell us where you stand? Like during in the middle of a global pandemic is when you were forced to finally say something. And then there's still a list of around 15 to 20 owners that hasn't said anything. That is the problem, how we approach our players and how we put policies and systems around our players. Oh, because it's a billion-dollar business, a multi-billion-dollar business, you guys have to talk. You guys have to do these things. The fans pay our bills. They keep the lights on for us. We understand that. We appreciate that. But at the same time, if we're going to say players are human, then we need to treat them like they're humans in the media. And then also when we talk about our owners and general managers and all the systems that we put in place in our buildings.
So I think the league has a crisis right now. This is the fourth incident in the first round of the playoffs that we've seen. If we have to see, we've seen these incidents captured on camera or reported, I'm sure there's more. So overall, I would have to take the over on how much bad behavior there's been in these stadiums. So after the Russell Westbrook incident, we saw Russ say something needs to be done. We saw LeBron say something that needs to be done. We saw Bradley Beal